Have you ever set a New Year's resolution that felt super exciting at first, only to find yourself frustrated or giving up by February? What if this year could be different? Stick with me today because today we're diving into the top 3 mistakes people make with health resolutions and the simple shifts you can make to avoid them and build a foundation of strength and confidence in 2025. So let's dive in.
Postpartum is hard. One second we feel like our bodies are miraculous, and the next we feel like we're a complete mess, out of touch with the strong, confident women we used to be, all while the fitness industry pressures us to bounce back as quickly as possible to a body that never looked like it was pregnant to begin with. That's why, whether we're 3 days postpartum or 3 years postpartum, we need the refreshing truth of gospel-focused fitness to give us energy for the physical challenges of motherhood, peace with our postpartum bodies, and kingdom-centered motivation to train for strength and stamina. So mama, whether you're sipping on cold coffee or folding 5-day-old laundry, I pray by listening every Monday, you become equipped, encouraged, and empowered for a strong motherhood, all for God's glory. This is the Strong After Birth podcast. Thanks for joining us.
As with any time I make a podcast episode about mistakes, I want to preface this by saying I have made every single one of these mistakes as an Enneagram 3 who is very goal-oriented and driven. So when it comes to setting goals, I like to say that I am a professional at making mistakes about them. And it's my hope that by listening to this podcast episode, you will learn from these mistakes so that you will not make them and can come on the other side of this year feeling really accomplished and successful when it comes to your health. I think there's something really incredible that happens when we set a goal and achieve it for ourselves, because there is this feeling of capability that has a way of just getting doubt out of our minds and helping us to see that God made us as capable women, capable moms. And I think that that has ripple effects into so many other areas of our life that can build a confidence that creates clarity on what truly matters to us. And so with that foundation, let's go ahead and dive into these top 3 mistakes and make sure that you stay till the end, because at the end, I'm going to be giving you a nice little resource that's really going to help you find some clarity for your goals, particularly if you're that woman like me who set so many goals and didn't reach them and got burnt out. That resource is going to be for you on top of this episode. So let's go ahead and dive in. Mistake number 1, and you probably already know this because you've heard it from me, is setting unrealistic goals. Now, we often aim high with our resolutions, don't we? Like, I'm going to exercise every single day without fail, or I'm going to completely eliminate sugar this year, or I'm going to have my quiet time every single morning at 5 a.m. And the reality is that these very, very lofty goals, while driven by ambition, which is not a bad thing, they really set us up for failure. Because life happens. And when we fall short, discouragement can take over. And that can just make us feel like we're incapable of change. Now, you're probably wondering, why do we do this? Like, why do I keep doing this thing? Why do I keep setting these unrealistic resolutions for myself and these expectations that just feel really daunting? Well, the new year for many women, for many moms, feels like a fresh start. And we want to see big results fast. You add in social media influencers showing off extreme routines or extreme transformations, and it's easy to believe why we need to aim for perfection. But real change doesn't happen overnight, and aiming too high can leave us burnt out. Now listen, I've been there. I've started the year feeling unstoppable, only to have life get in the way. Have a baby, run a business, do these other things, right? And missing one planned workout felt like a failure. And I thought, why even try? I'd try again the next week, didn't meet my goal. 3 times a week didn't work. Now, if that resonates with you, know that you're not alone, but there is a better way forward. Now, most coaches will tell you to set SMART goals. You've probably heard that before: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. I say, let that go. Because I've tried it one too many times, and I can tell you it does not work. And here is why. SMART goals are not something that have a purpose. Our intention is left out of it. In order for us to truly stay determined to reach a goal, it has to serve a purpose in our life, which is why I recommend, instead of SMART goals, to set PACT goals, PACT. These are goals that are purposeful, actionable, continuous, and trackable. Here's an example. Instead of, I want to work out every day, try instead, I want to incorporate strength building activities 3 times a week. Instead of give up sugar completely, I want to choose nutrient dense snacks 5 days a week. Now, these are small, realistic steps that can lead to lasting habits that support your overall well-being. It has to have a purpose for you. You have to tie your goal down to how it is going to help you. Here's my personal example. I strength train 3 days a week. Most of the time I'm getting up around 5 a.m. I am a morning person. I'll preface it with that, but I get up around 5 a.m. and I do a strength workout for about 30 to 45 minutes. What gets me up and out of bed at 5 a.m. is not because I want to look good in a bikini or not because I want to have a six pack. I get up at 5 a.m. because I know that my day starts at 6:30 when my toddler's alarm goes off. And from that point on, I am a business owner and I am a mom. And those hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning where I can have a workout, eat breakfast, have a quiet time, journal, those are so life-giving to me and have ripple effects into how I perform as a business owner and how I am present as a mom. So my goal of strength training 3 times a week is purposeful. It serves a purpose. That's really important to identify. So let's move on to mistake number 2. This is relying solely on motivation. Now, motivation, don't get me wrong, it can feel like a powerful motivator, right? At the start. But here is the problem with motivation. It is fleeting. It is literally designed to be fleeting. Motivation from our mind stems from cortisol. Cortisol is a great thing that our body creates, but the reality with cortisol is that it is short-lived. And if we are relying on that cortisol rush, we are going to get burnt out because it is not something that is meant to be secreted by our body in a high amount of time for a long duration. And the reality is that when life gets busy, that cortisol rush that we felt that helped us to get to our workout is now being allocated to get over the busyness of the new season. And when the excitement fades, so does our commitment. If your resolutions depend only on how motivated you feel, you are setting yourself up for inconsistency. Please, please do not do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want you to think of your motivation like a spark. It can definitely ignite a fire, but it won't keep the fire burning. To keep the fire burning, you need fuel. The fuel for our goals are systems and habits. These are things that you want to focus your attention on building to gather the wood that when the spark is lit, the habits are in place, the systems are in place, and the fire will burn. Now, I wonder why we're drawn to this mistake, don't you? Like, why do we feel like I just need more motivation, or when I feel ready, then I'll do it? Well, I think that we're drawn to the idea of quick fixes and overnight success, which makes motivation seem like a magical ingredient, right? And we see this all across the board when it comes to social media, magazines, even movies, right? But real transformation comes from consistency. And this goes across the board, whether you're looking for a mental transformation, a physical transformation, or even a spiritual transformation, right? This doesn't come from just bursts of inspiration. This comes from daily dedication. Now, about 1 year ago, I resolved to start lifting weights 3 times a week, and this was driven by a burst of January energy. The first week, it felt great. Then came a week of absolute chaos with my child, my toddler, and my plan fell apart. He wasn't sleeping. My 5 a.m. alarm felt awful. And it wasn't till I created a realistic system, like scheduling workouts during his nap time or focusing on short, effective training rather than an hour workout. And that helped me to find consistency. So here's what I want you to do instead of relying on your motivation. I want you to focus this year on creating some habits and systems that make success easier. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Pair exercise with something you really enjoy, like music or a podcast or a favorite outfit. Prepare your meals ahead of time to simplify healthy eating. These are small steps that can create consistency and make it easier to stick with your resolutions. Now, here are my top 3 habits for this year that I'm going to be focusing on. Number 1 is to get to bed around the same time, 80% of the time. Now for me, don't laugh, my bedtime is 9 o'clock, but I get up at 5. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm winding down around 7:30 to 8 o'clock. So I have that good solid wind down. That is one of my goals. My second is to focus on daily meditation midday. I've noticed on my Oura Ring that my daytime stress gets a little high sometimes. I get a little excited about Instagram, get a little excited about trying training clients. So I'm going to be adding in a daily 5-minute meditation and prayer right after lunch. And then third is to be focusing on daily journaling before bed. I've gotten into a great habit with gratitude journaling in the morning, and I've really enjoyed that. So I'm kind of building on that habit to adding in some thought-provoking journaling before bed at least once a week. So these are some habits I know that will ultimately help me to reduce stress, to be more mindful, and to support my other goals of strength training and building muscle without being so focused on motivation. All right, let's move on to the third and final mistake, shall we? Number 3 is focusing only on physical results. Now, it's tempting to tie success to how you look in the mirror or the size of your jeans. I get it. I have felt that temptation too. But while physical goals can be motivating, they're often not enough to sustain long-term change. When progress slows down or doesn't look the way we hoped, we can feel discouraged. And we make this mistake, I believe, because we live in a culture that overemphasizes appearance. And different societies emphasizes differently. I know a lot of clients who their family talks about bodies, their family talks about how their bodies look or weight all of the time. There's also families who don't talk about it at all. But the reality is we are all exposed to some extent to a culture that is obsessed with our bodies. From diet ads to filtered social media posts, it's easy to believe that health is all about how you look. But health and strength are about so much more. They are about how you feel, how your body functions, how your mind is working. Are you present? Are you calm? Or do you have such a short fuse you're about to explode if your child drops something? Now listen, I've been there. I have had my years of chasing physical results. I have gone through every single weight loss diet you can imagine, only to feel frustrated when they didn't come out as quickly as I'd hoped. It's exhausting. And it's really disheartening. But I've learned that health is about what your body can do, not just how it looks. So instead of focusing on how your body looks and setting goals based on a picture of some movie star on your fridge, is that even still a thing? I don't know. I want you to focus on building strength. I want you to focus on improving your energy and your resilience. I want you to focus on getting out of limiting joint pain. And let that be your motivator. I want you to celebrate progress, like lifting heavier weights, playing with your kids without feeling winded, or sleeping better at night. See, when your goals reflect what you want your body to do, you will find motivation that lasts because it draws us into a deeper worship of our Lord and the miraculous body that He has given us. Now, as we end today, I want to ask you, which of these mistakes have you made in the past? As I'm sharing these, did one of them stick out a little bit more loudly to you? I want you to reflect on one change you can make to avoid it this year. And share your goal with someone you trust because accountability can make all of the difference. And if you haven't already yet and you are ready to create goals that reflect your values and your priorities, you're going to want to download the free Next Level Goal Setting Guide for 2025 at www.truestrengthcollective.com/next level goals. This guide will help you to build a strong, purpose-driven plan for the new year and to clear your mind and your head of the guilt that holds us back from doing that. Let's make this year where your health resolutions empower you and move you forward to a stronger, more God-focused body. Until next time, stay strong. All the love, Coach Laura.